This is Roger Struckhoff with Syscon TV. We are at CloudEXPO in Santa Clara in the year 2015, believe it or not, and we're joined now again by Alex Gorbachev with ISS. We're going to talk about open source storage. Alex, thanks again for visiting us. It's good to see you. What's going on with your company?
Roger, good to see you too.
You bet.
Good to see you again. So, what we've done is, for 21 years, we built mission critical systems. Okay. Right, so we built something for large commercial organizations, for the US military, for federal government, for telecom companies, for pretty much whomever, manufacturing, healthcare. And in 1997, I asked a support person from a large IT support company, that was a lot of and still a lot of, right? And they said, how do I fix this one problem? This was 1997. Mm-hmm. And the guy answered, he said, well, we could log a case for you and it'll take a little time, or I can tell you how to recompile a Unix kernel. It's really simple. He said, everything comes from the open source foundation here. You'll be up and running in, real soon. And since then, I've realized that open source is a very powerful thing that actually lies at the heart of pretty much, I would say, most modern technology. And at some point, open source has become very, very powerful. It's useful to a lot of people. There's a lot of companies that invest in it. Your large cloud companies, of course, right? Manufacturers, vendors. It's a great movement, and it's a great product. There's a Gartner report that came out just recently that the quality of open source software is higher than the quality of closed source software. I've experienced this a number of times. Just had an issue, I communicated it on a mailing list, right? The issue was solved in hours, in a matter of hours, single hours. Everything with a patch, with a complete solution. So open source is great. So now what we want to do, and wanted to do for some time, is build basically your modular data center of the future, right? Where everything just kind of sticks together, works together. It is commoditized, modularized, and standardized. And we decided to start with storage. All the building blocks, the ingredients for this cookbook are here. They're ready, they're available right now. All you have to do is just put them together in the right order. So we've done that for storage. We built a product called Storcio. Its core is based on a project called Ceph. Ceph we talked about it last time in New York. Ceph was developed actually here in California by Sage Weil, University of California, Santa Cruz. Yeah. And Ceph is something that's capable of growing forever to petabytes, exabytes. There's no theoretical limit. It overcomes the traditional limitations of RAID, traditional monolithic storage systems. It's a software-defined storage. And then we've added a management component to this. So if you take your normal traditional storage administrator, they want to be able to accomplish their tasks, do their job quickly, efficiently, with minimal number of clicks, and with very little variables. As in, open source lets you do whatever you want, including things that you don't want to do, right? So we've worked on that to go ahead and limit what can happen to, things you would only want to have.
Here's the thing, you mentioned movement. In the early days, it was a movement, but now, like you say, it's not only a product, it's a solution, it's community, and what you're finding is not only the products are very robust in enterprise class, but service and support is, and you kind of have this flexibility, it sounds, that people need today. You're building stuff in the cloud, they want flexibility and scalability. And it sounds like that's what the open source movement has ultimately produced. They're the exact products and solutions that people want.
Well, the open source movement is still there, right? There's still that spirit. Of course, now you have people have a lot more responsibility. It's not guys in their basement and girls. There's guys and girls making the Linux kernel, which is most of the modern technology pretty much, right? There's people doing mission critical projects on open source all over the world. Unfortunately, more more common in Europe than in the United States, but quite common now, becoming more and more common. Half of this show is open source. And so what happens is leveraging that capability, I think, is extremely important. It's the forward-looking, the technology of the future that you can pretty much have it now. And what we've done is we've taken it, we're working towards more of that same recipe, but we've taken this technology and we've packaged it into a mission-critical data center component, which you can bring into a legacy traditional data centers, right? So you're going to have companies with basically a bread and butter legacy side, that runs something that's been around for years and works well. And then you have more of a forward-looking side that will run, things like OpenStack or OpenNebula or anything of that nature. And what we're able to do is we're able to bring in technology that will, for the time being, the storage will replace both the legacy part and the forward-looking part. You can use both, so it's future-proof.
We should do a webinar on this sometime because we've run out of time here, but we should talk for like an hour sometime on this topic because it can go so deep, so many ways. But in the meantime, how do people find your company online?
So they go to either iss-integration.com or just the product name, which is storcium.com, storcium.com.
Thank you. We've been joined for a few minutes here by Alex Gorbachev with ISS, talking open source storage, but much more than that, how movement has really turned into products and solutions. Thank you for watching. For SysCon TV, this is Roger Struckoff.